Network for the strong, not the weak.
The Harlem Hellfighters was a regiment of New York National Guardsmen in the First World War. They were set up to fail by their own government. They were humiliated, degraded, eventually given to the French army as a throwaway, and they ended up coming home as one of the most decorated units in the entire U.S. Army.
The Harlem Hellfighters are one of the most important regiments in American history. In World War I, they helped to establish to the entire world the power of black soldiers in the military.
It was very difficult at that time for African Americans to get into the United States military because there was this perception that African Americans would not do well in battle. They had to overcome the prejudice of their own countrymen and yet also perform ably on the battlefield.
Like so many units of African American descent, when they go overseas, they're not sure what they're going to do. Are they going to fight as infantry? Or are they going to be stevedores and load ships? Or are they going to be labor units and cut wood?
And so they're committed to labor duty, they're unloading ships, building latrines, those type of support services. And as you can imagine, these men have been trained and they're willing to fight, they're ready to fight, and this is stressful for them.
They were finally given to the French army, which in a way was an even greater insult because in the First World War, when the United States entered, General Pershing, the commanding officer, was very clear that American forces would not be fed piecemeal into the French and British army because the French and British wanted reinforcements, and Pershing said absolutely not. When Americans join this war, they will fight as an American force under an American flag led by an American general. ... except for the black guys. You can have them.
Henry Johnson is perhaps one of the most remarkable black military heroes in U.S. history.
And he found himself in no man's land with Private Needham Roberts manning a listening post.
And Needham Roberts hears click, click, click. And he realizes somebody's cutting the wire. It's potentially a German raid.
And so Roberts is passing him grenades, and they line up these grenades, and the Germans actually do come across the lines. Roberts is hurt, and now Henry Johnson is left to defend their position and to stave off this attack. And then he makes the mistake of jamming a French cartridge into his American gun, and it no longer will work. And the Germans are on top of it.
He then used his rifle like a club, and then he ended up fighting with a knife against the Kaiser's best and turned them.
He's wounded in the fray. He's struck, for example, in the foot, and has a debilitating injury as a result. And he fights them off, he says, for what seemed like an hour.
The Germans ran shrieking into the night, all because of one man.
It's not until the next morning that people realize what a tremendous act this was. They discover 4 bodies of dead German soldiers. And they also realize from the equipment and other things that are left behind that as many as 30 may have been involved in this altercation.
As soon as he drove off those Germans, the French awarded him with the Croix de Guerre, a great honor. Unfortunately, it took about 75 years for the U.S. government to give him the Legion of Merit. Had he been white, he would have walked out of that war with the Medal of Honor. What was so shocking to me when I began to research the story of the Hellfighters was that after they had performed so magnificently in combat, the United States government actually sent a memorandum to the French government, essentially implementing Jim Crow. Essentially saying, don't give them some notion that they are equals because we don't want them taking that notion back to the United States and demanding equality.
When they come back to the United States, he's not awarded the Purple Heart. There's no notation in his military record of his injury. And so he winds up not being able to work because of this injury. He doesn't get any kind of assistance from the Army or from the government as a result. And he ends up dying in 1929 penniless. So it again shows the paradox. Here's this great story of valor and of courage on the part of this soldier, and ultimately he comes back to a nation that doesn't honor that sacrifice.
We tend to think we all know American history so well, but the story of the Harlem Hellfighters should be one of the first stories told. It wasn't about killing other people, it was about being Americans and serving their country well. That was the inclination of the Harlem Hellfighters.
When you are African American in 1917, democracy is armor. Democracy is a weapon. And to fight for a war to make the world safe for democracy was something more than just some ethereal crusade for the Hellfighters. It had concrete results. They were fighting for the rights to be a citizen of the country that they were born in.
I would say this, that I do know that during that same war, that America was, as is today, so racist until the German officers, when they were captured, could eat in the same mess hall and have the same accommodations as the white American officers. But the black troops were segregated, couldn't come into that mess hall unless they were scrubbing the floors and washing dishes. So it was a white man honoring another white man, though one was American and one was German, and they were supposed to be enemies. There was still a tie that was able to bind the two together. Beautiful.
I can't believe exactly what I'm hearing. We went to war in World War II to fight for the freedom of speech. We didn't fight for freedom of speech of hatred. Many of our members, I'm the National Commander of Jewish War Veterans, and over 50,000 of our men died fighting for your right to free speech here now. I don't understand how you come out with such hatred.
Phil, excuse me, Phil.
Yes. Mr. Muhammad. Sir.
You make me sick to my stomach with that. Because at the same time that you were fighting, you were not fighting for the freedom and independence of black people. Soldiers, black soldiers in segregated companies lost their lives on foreign soil there, but would have to come back and fight just to get a bite to eat and not have to go to the toilet on the side of the road somewhere in the bushes. So you're nothing but hypocrites, and you won't pull that small-time stuff over on me.
I just wanted to share something with you. Sean King, who writes for the New York Daily News and who I follow on Twitter, and if you don't follow Sean King on Twitter, do so. Sean King is brilliant. And he writes regularly for the New York Daily News. And he wrote this piece called Why I'll Never Stand Again for the Star-Spangled Banner. And I just want to share 3 paragraphs from Sean's piece about this. He says, first off, the song, he's talking about the Star-Spangled Banner. He says, first off, the song, which was originally written as a poem, didn't become our national anthem until 1931, which was 117 years after Francis Scott Key wrote it. Most of us have no true idea what in the hell we've been hearing or singing all these years. But as it turns out, Key's full poem actually has a 3rd stanza, which few of us have ever heard. In it, he openly celebrates the murder of slaves. Yes, really. It goes like this. No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave, and the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph doth wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. And then Sean King goes on to explain what that means. He says, while it's always been known that the song was written during American slavery and that when those words about this nation being the land of the free didn't apply to the millions who had been held in bondage, few of us had any idea that the song itself was rooted in the celebration of slavery and the murder of Africans in America who were being hired by the British military to give them strength, not only in the War of 1812, but in the Battle of Fort McHenry in 1814. These black men were called the Corps of Colonial Marines, and they served valiantly for the British military, and Francis Scott Key despised them. He was glad to see them experience terror and death in war, to the point that he wrote a poem about it, and that poem is now our national anthem. While I fundamentally reject the notion that anyone who owned other human beings was either good, moral, or decent, Francis Scott Key left absolutely no doubt that he was a stone-cold bigot. He came from generations of plantation-owning bigots. See, I don't call them plantations anymore. I call them concentration camps. But anyhow, they got wealthy off of it. Key, as District Attorney of Washington, fought for slavery and against abolitionists every chance he got. Even when Africans in D.C. were injured or murdered, Francis Scott Key stood strong against justice for them. He openly spoke racist words against Africans in America. Key said that they were, quote, a distinct and inferior race of people which all experience proves to be the greatest evil that afflicts a community, end quote. This is in the context of Colin Kaepernick's refusal to stand for the Star-Spangled Banner. Sean King nails it, as Sean King so often does. And it's just a brilliant piece. Check it out. The British, yeah, well, I don't have time to go into the whole backstory. But anyhow, we'll be back right after the break.
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. Call 202.
Good evening, everybody. It's your man HRap coming at you live and direct. This is built for this network. This is a show called Build and Destroy. Every 168 hours I appear and I give you information, hopefully to build up the community and destroy the lies and the methodology of we are lazy, we are worthless, we are shiftless. And you continue, as you heard in the precursor, this is propaganda that has been spread throughout the community and the world. So what I plan to do is hopefully tear that down week by week. Hopefully I'll inspire someone to do different. If not, I know I've done my part. It's a race. You have to just run your leg of the race. And if everybody else does a little bit, nobody has to do a lot. With that being said, thank you for tuning in. You know how I start each and every one of my shows. I acknowledge my ancestors. I was taught that if you acknowledge your ancestors when you're publicly speaking, they will send down protections to you as you send up respect and blessings to them. So each show starts off the same way. My family members connected to the Whitmores, the Pollards, the Turners, the Battles, the Cottons, the Harpers, the Baileys, the Crisp, the Lansdowns, the Liggins, the Duncans, and you know me and my father, my mother, my sister, my brother. We're the Williams clan. We're in the building. We are in the midst of an interesting week, to say the least. We are in the midst of a holiday that didn't even acknowledge us as existing. You have a lot of people confused on what we should or shouldn't do. You do what you want to do. Most of us, or I think everybody who's listening to me more than likely is an adult. So you're going to do what you want to do, but always keep in mind, you don't want to be where you're tolerated. You want to be where you are invited or celebrated. So with that being said, I don't have a situation to put you in to punish you for doing what I don't think you should do, because this is not the way I operate. How I do operate is I hope to give you information in which will enhance you and put you in a better situation or put you in a better frame of thinking so you can celebrate yourself and not just others and what they have to offer, understanding that you have a lot to offer as well. And when we do that, you know, it's the old adage, when you know better, you do better. And when you do better, you feel better, and so forth and so on. So what I want to do is put you in a situation where you feel better, you do better, you know more, and you pass that information on and enhance our community one word at a time. So, like I said, man, this is an interesting time. And what I mean by interesting time, you have an uprising. You're in the midst of an uprising. We are in the midst of all these conspiracy theories. We have a social, and people are bringing light or acknowledging a racial pandemic after 4 or 5 centuries of tyranny. You finally acknowledge that we do have a race problem in the United States of America. Oh, thank you. Thank you for acknowledging what you've done, or starting to acknowledge what you've done. We really feel good about that. And I say that with every tone of sarcasm I can drum up. But, you know, what bothers me is what we do is what I call is go down the rabbit hole too much. We have a ton of people chasing us down rabbit holes or pointing us down rabbit holes, and it's due to our lack of intestinal fortitude. Wow, what I mean by that is we don't want to look up things. We want the quick fix. Oh yeah, I saw this on YouTube. I saw it on Facebook, which is almost a joke in itself. I saw it on Facebook, so it's real. Okay, but we have to stop doing that. And the reason I'm asking us to stop doing that is because I was witness to a situation this week. And the situation was I was in the store and I was behind these two men. And there's this brother and this white boy. And the brother was talking about how 5G is the reason we have corona. And they're putting this stuff in the ground every night. I see AT&T trucks putting more corona in the ground. And by me not participating or demonstrating in the conversation, what I saw was this. I saw the white boy just staring at him. And he's looking at him, kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you, he's looking at him crazy. Like, and then he started demonstrating with him. Hit him with the, yeah, I know what you mean, And the moment he hit him with the, yeah, I know what you mean, I know some bullshit on the way. So what he did was jump right down that rabbit hole with him. And instead of staying on that conspiracy path, what the white boy did was take the brother down a path that the brother wasn't prepared to go down. And because, like a lot of people, when people talk over your head, instead of you saying, well, wait a minute, I don't know about that, or, well, I ain't going down there, man, I don't have enough information about that one, even though the whole concept of 5G being put in the ground should be some shit that he shouldn't have been talking about anyway, because there's a very good chance that he don't have nothing to back that dumb shit up either, but that's neither here nor there. But, so the brother was like, yeah. He was like, see, man, it's these rich people. They trying to send us off. And now the brother engaged. And he was like, yeah, see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. He was like, and what they do, they're trying to change everything now. He said, what are they going to do? Change the history books? He said, they want to tear down all these monuments. And then now the brother is fully engaged and being led by the nose like a bull. And I'm standing there shaking my damn head. And I'm going, bro, really? And he was like, yeah, man, they trying to change everything. I don't understand why they changing those flags either. And that's when I knew it was over. And I was like, so the brother, he was like, yeah, what they gonna change next? The money? So that's when I stepped in. I was like, yeah, who the hell wants them slave trading cards? I was like, that's exactly what they need to do. Change the money. And they do need to fix the history books. So the white boy didn't expect me to engage. Nobody expected me to engage. Hell, they wasn't talking to me. And it wasn't my damn, technically it wasn't my damn business. But you made it my business when you start trying to augment what's really going on. Yes. Let me, before I move forward, I don't give a damn about a statue or a flag. I really don't. Hell no. Keep all that shit up if you ask me. Change policy and stop folks from getting murdered in these streets. And you could put a statue of Scooby-Doo up if you like. But when you start speaking from the aspect of what are they going to do? Change this and change that? Yes, they do need to change those things because, see, you're not subjected to the tyranny that those things bring about. So if they're starting out small with monuments, because monuments mean something. Monuments show an allegiance to something. And when you show an allegiance to something, you're saying that's what you're about. And if you are about Confederate soldiers, if you're about the Confederacy, that means you're anti-me. And see, this is why you got dumbasses like Drew Brees standing around talking about the flag, and other dumbasses like Candace Owens and those people trying to say racism doesn't exist. So this is why when you hear yourself engaging in something that is nonsensical or stupid, we can't even go down those paths, because those paths lead you directly into destruction. You'll end up arguing with someone or debating about something that is counter who you are, because they hear the lack of true information spewing from the front of your face, and then they talk you into it via the same way somebody more than likely talked that sheriff into it, or somebody talked the Candace into it, or one of these numbskulls that regurgitate the white nationalist propaganda that we live on today. The black on black crime, what about Chicago, what are you guys doing, and things of that nature. See, this is why if you are not informed, it's okay to say, I don't know. Because when you go down that rabbit hole and that person exposes your ignorance, you are subject to your ignorance. You are owner of what you think, and you are a slave to what you say. If you don't say anything that defines or that puts you in a specific position, you're not bound to that. I can think I don't like XYZ all I want, but the moment I tweet it, the moment I post it, the moment I say it, now everybody and their aunt and their aunt's mother can hold me accountable for what I said. Even if I misspeak, even if you misunderstand it, because even though I'm only responsible for what I say and not how you receive it, all you have to do is continue to regurgitate what you believe I said, and most people will accuse me of saying it. That's the thing. That is clearly the thing that's going on, because, and if I'm popular enough, nobody will take my side, and and the people who I counter what they knew or understood I had to say, they'll just continue to put forth the lie, and now I'm boxed in. Now, me personally, if you misunderstand me and you misquote me, I got a whole lot of words for you. I'll pull this damn show up and play it for you. Or better yet, I'll tell you go to hell. Deal with it. But most of us aren't built like me. And that's where we run into the problem. That is clearly where we run into the problem, and we don't know how to get out of it. So, if you find yourself in a situation to whereas someone is misquoting you, or you don't even understand the conversation that you're going into, simply, before you're misquoted or your words are used out of context to frame what you meant, just don't engage. Don't engage in the conversation that you know people will put you in a bad situation. If you don't understand what I'm saying presently, I'll give you an example. Morgan Freeman was framed in that way, and he has been labeled a sucker, a clown, a sellout, and everything like that. But what Morgan Freeman said, dude asked him, how do you deal with race? And Morgan Freeman said, stop talking about it. Blur the lines. He said, what about Black History Month? We don't need Black History Month. And they stopped. And that's the only clip they put out in front of the world. Morgan Freeman was saying, don't make it Black History Month. Teach about my people 365 days a year. But you push it out on the internet, stop it right there, and then you got Morgan Freeman out here looking like a clown. And you got people, oh, well, we need to cancel Morgan Freeman. He's a creep. He's this. And now you want to bring up all the ill doings of one Morgan Freeman. Has it affected him now? Because most older guys will tell you KMA. And it seems as if Brother Morgan has done that. But Brother Morgan shouldn't have had to go through that. And when you find yourself in a situation to whereas if you don't have the intestinal fortitude to deal with what Brother Morgan dealt with, then don't talk about things that you're not prepared to talk about. Because white nationalists, this propagandized media and other outlets throughout the United States of America. They are waiting on you and I and anybody who looks like you and I or anybody affiliated with you and I to misstep or say something that they know they can make out of a sound bite and push you down a rabbit hole that you will more than likely the average person will never be able to crawl out of. And anytime you come back, they'll always hold it up in your face because if you don't believe me, turn to whatever station Fox News come on in your area and just watch them. They take portions of what people say, force it down the dumbass American populist's throat, and they are not accountable for anything that they say or do. You got a cat like by the name of Sean Hannity, who is literally and figuratively hate mongering every night, putting people in danger for ratings, and it could be that he is a nationalist himself. I'm not going to call him a nationalist, but me personally, he sounds like a white nationalist. I've heard him attempt to twist people's words and things of that nature. And if you're not eloquent with your speech, he will put you in a trick bag, and now you looking like a clown in front of the entire world. Why people even go on this show when you know that's what he's doing is beyond me. But hey, I'm not here to say what anybody else should do with their personal time, but it just seems to me, if you're dealing with a white nationalist and you find yourself in a bad situation, and you find people who you know are way smarter than you or have an ability to articulate their thoughts way more eloquently than you, why go on there and put yourself in that situation? But hey, man, sometimes people jump in 10 fingers, 10 toes. Like my mama used to say, your eyes bigger than your stomach. You see more stuff that you can handle and you think you can handle and you can't. But I just want people to stop even participating in nonsensical conversations like that or not be prepared enough to deal with it. Period. The next thing I want to talk about is the BET Awards. Even though that seems to be a 180, I'm speaking about power. Every week I speak about truth. I speak truth to power. This week was the BET Awards. Big up to the people who run BET right now, which is a sad commentary. The people at BET simulcasted their awards. You know, you had Public Enemy, The Roots, and everybody doing things like, you know, did a rendition of Fight the Power, which was super dope. I saw a video of it. I haven't watched an award show God knows how long. I don't know why I stopped watching them. I don't know. I just stopped watching them one year and never went back. But and they simulcasted this program for BET, Black Entertainment Television, and put it on CBS. The reason they did that is because of the lack of content that's on traditional or mainstream television. BET is obviously a cable network, so you won't get what you get on BET and a lot of other places. But it also shows the power of our community. If you have nothing, anytime people have nothing else to do and they continue to turn back to you, you need to identify that as a source of power. I hear Spike Lee. I remember years ago, Spike Lee and Eddie Murphy had a feud, and then they had a conversation. They were talking about the power each other had and things of that nature. Now you have a person like Tyler Perry who said, I ain't about to participate. And he has taken his power and created his own studio. Tyler Perry has quarantined his people and things of that nature so he can create content. This is an opportunity for everybody in America who is a creative, whether you are a writing creative, a movie creative, or acting creative, or what have you. We have the technology in our hands. We have the technology on our desktops and things of that nature to create our own content and put these people in a situation to whereas we can make demands now. Because our stories have not been told. It's only so many times you can remake the Manchurian Candidate. It's only so many times you can remake The Omen and things of that nature that come from them, probably stolen from others, like The Matrix, stolen from a sister. Most people don't know that. Black woman wrote The Matrix. She just got paid about 4 or 5 years, or maybe 10 years ago. But that's neither here nor there. So when you are in an advantageous situation like this, you must take advantage. If we need to be circling the wagons like wolves. And if you circle the wagon like a group of wolves, you won't be defeated. But at this point, we continue to stay fractured. We can no longer play this game as a hand. We must play this game as a fist. And if you don't understand that, then you, my friends, will continue to be marginalized and taken advantage of. We must work together. We must get out of the mind state of I don't like. I've said this 3 consecutive weeks. I try not to say the same thing every week, because if you say the same thing every week, people will start to tune you out. But in this case, we must start to play this game as a fist, not as a hand. A fist does far more damage than a hand, and it brings more power, right? Identify the times that you're in, and when you're in these good times, you as an individual, whether you be creative or inspiration, you could be a muse, you could be somebody's muse. You could be the reason people strive to be better. Encourage folks. Because look, how many times, it's one thing to, spew out that rhetoric. We built this place. We did this and we did. It's one thing to say that. But when you live it and you exude it from all your being, then at that point, it becomes a reality. Enough of saying what you have done. You need to start saying what you're about to do. You have to start saying that. When people are using you as the primary source of anything and you're not benefiting from it, that means it's time for you to take a step back, circle the wagons, and then move forward. And that's the only way to win. Look, if you are shocked at the racism, I question you. Like, where the hell you been? If you're taken back by the racism, I'm wondering what world are you living in? But when you're looking at these things, what you have to do is stop being shocked, stop being traumatized, and realize, hey man, I'm in the midst of a fight. I already have a busted lip and a black eye, and I'm a little woozy. But at this point, this is when the bell is ringing, right? You go into your corner, and then you come out fighting. You should take it as an insult. Well, I take it as an insult when I hear a fight that we're in the midst of, and people go, and it's mostly white people out there fighting. Tell you why I'm insulted when I hear that. People go, see, they on our side. Nah. When you're in a fight, you only get respect when you win or lose. That's the thing, man. I'm not sure about the ladies that's listening to me, but I know this for sure with the men. And the men can identify with this more than likely more than the ladies. When you're a guy growing up, your closest friends are usually the people that you have an altercation with, and either y'all fight it out or they stand up to you. Just as a point of order, one of my friends just came into the chat room. He's one of my oldest and closest friends. Me and his relationship started because he cheated me out of something that means nothing. But it was angst there at first. I stood up to him, he stood up to me, and then a mutual respect was established. We've been friends ever since. White men in America have had fights with the Chinese. Now they respect them because the Chinese didn't fold. The Vietnamese recently, they didn't fold. The Koreans, they didn't fold. All throughout Europe, they either won or they didn't fold. Win, lose, or draw, they didn't fold. Sad to say, man, this only community ain't fought them. We fought side by side and won fights for them. But to me, it's the equivalent of the bully having you help him beat up another weakling. Yeah, I'm going to help the bully, and then the bully's going to treat me right. Nah, he's going to still be a bully. And I'm not asking people to take arms and go into the street and shoot up the street. No. But one thing I do understand is this. When you live in life, to use another animal analogy, it's like this. When you live in, it's a couple kinds of dogs out there. It's your little cute, cuddly dog that do the frisbees and all that, and he friendly as hell. Then you got the little Chihuahua. You ain't really scared of the Chihuahua. And them little, those little dogs, they always aggressive. You're not really scared of it, but you really don't want to be bothered. You've been kick them across the street, piss off everybody in your neighborhood. Oh, the dog, why did you do that? That dog. And you got a dog that you walking down the street like a pit bull. When I was young, scary dogs, we used to call them shit eaters. You might have a shit eating dog, shit eating pit bull, but you're going to still cross the street when you see a gate open and you walking down the block and the pit bull sitting on the porch, because you don't want it with that dog. And the last and most important dog is the guard dog or the junkyard dog. Nobody in their right mind is going to jump the fence and fight that junkyard dog or mess with the junkyard dog, because that dog is yap, 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 barking, aggressive. He jumping up against the gate trying to get you. And it seems that people in my community, we have turned into the little yap, 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 yap dog. We got to get our junkyard dog pit bull status back, y'all. If we continue to let people in the streets fight our fight, we will always be looked upon as the little yap, yap, yap dog. And that's not who we are. You know, if you are not willing to do what you got to do and fight for what you really believe in, people are never going to respect you. And if I can give you examples, fought the Japanese in World War II, everybody got a Honda or a Toyota or something like that, right? You fought the Koreans, you got a Kia. People got those same white people drive those cars. Fought the Germans, everybody want a BMW, a Benz, or Audi. And those are what they want. You don't hear nobody exporting nothing from our continent, because they exploiting us as a diaspora. So if you keep allowing other people to fight your fights and not busting people in their mouths, either you can do it intellectually, you can do it financially, you can do it with your presence or lack thereof, but stop making excuses for people mistreating you. Because you wouldn't let nobody mistreat your mother, your grandmother, your sister, your niece, your son, your nephew. So why would you let somebody mistreat you? See, we don't have the wherewithal, the financial wherewithal, or the military wherewithal to go to war with America. But what we do have is the intestinal fortitude, because we've dealt with things for over 400 years. And we can tell people in America, you know what, man, I work for your company. But the moment something better come along, I'm out of here. See, we have to eliminate words like loyalty, unity, and things like that until people start coming to us. Because just like the dude who cheats on his significant other, he don't never act right until she get ready to pack and leave. Well, it's time for us to start packing. Metaphorically, we need to start laying down things in place. So as we create the foundation for our community, all we're dealing with people who think they're superior to us. Is the barter system. I'm buying goods from you. Now I'm going to go over here. You stay over there. Now, does everybody want to do this? Nope. Because it's people in our community, for one, they have a defeatist attitude and they know everything that's going to go wrong. So it's people that's listening to me right now saying that's not going to work. Fuck those people. Excuse me. I have my pastor and my friend, Reverend James Dye, listening. He understands. So I'm going to say excuse me to him and anybody else who I offend. Fuck those people. Then you got those people who think the dominant society's water is colder than ours. I'm not wasting one more second trying to convince them either. Fuck them too. But for the brothers and sisters who are listening, who are saying, I'm sick of this, man. In the words of the great Fannie Lou Hamer, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Me and you and other like-minded people can start off small and then end up great. If you doubt anything I'm saying, the Great Migration to Oklahoma started in 1905. By 1921, you had a section of Oklahoma great enough to be called, to be known as, to this day, as Black Wall Street, where they own a couple dozen grocery stores, couple dozen hotels, thousands of homes, and they had a financial district there that was their own. And if you can do that in the face of the tyranny, the racism, the Ku Klux Klan, and all kinds of Jim Crow laws that were set up in their faces, and those things allegedly are no longer there, there's no way in hell we can't do that today. Which leads me to another point. This is something that angers the hell out of me. I was talking to the homie today, homie Joe from Houston. I was talking to the homie Joe today about this, and it really annoyed the hell out of me, man. When I hear these young folks ripping and running on TV talking about, we not our ancestors. That annoys the hell out of me, man. Because what exactly does that mean? Oh, we not going to let you pick on us. We use different phraseology, man. We not going to accept it. You're not our ancestors. You don't want to know why? Because most of y'all ain't faced shit. You keyboard tough guys, your videographers, and half our ancestors were educated. Our ancestors didn't walk around with their ass hanging out their pants. Our ancestors didn't think it was cool to be uncouth. Our ancestors had to live and try to get some form of happiness, knowing that any day some of these goddamn racehorses could jump out of the ground and legally lynch you and nothing happens. So you know what? You're not our ancestors. Which one of y'all is Dr. King, Medgar Evers? Which one of y'all are that? You know what? The people who are really doing the work, the Cameron Hunters of the world, the Mike Sons, the generals of the world, the Tamika Mallory's of the world, you don't hear them saying that stupid shit. We're not our ancestors. Like I said, that whole thing I just went over with the Black Wall Street thing. Here in Bronzeville, here in Chicago. Compton, before they threw that 405. Liberty City. Columbia, South Carolina. These places were established by those ancestors that you're just summarily dismissing. It's insulting, man. There's no way in hell you would stand your ass on the news and say, I'm not my grandmother. I'm not my grandfather. Because that's what you're really saying. You're calling your grandparents and my grandparents and our great-grandparents and our ancestors weak. If you don't understand what was going on 160 years ago, I'll take you back to this statue. It's a statue, the Lincoln Monument that everybody sees, the big statue of Lincoln sitting in the chair. That's not the first statue that was built to honor Abraham Lincoln. It is a park in D.C. called Lincoln Park. And in this park, it's the original statue that a lot of brothers and sisters paid for that put their money towards 10 years after Lincoln was assassinated. And Fredrick Douglass, to be exact, he spoke at the commencement of this damn statue. A couple thousand people there, brothers and sisters there, and they knew Abraham Lincoln wasn't up with the smoke with them. Fredrick Douglass even came out and said, hell, we know this dude is no good. He's not our guy. He's for the white guy. But they still paid for that statue, even though they were not allowed to determine what the statue looked like. But what they did was say, hey, what they said was, in essence, in the face of all you bigots, this dude is Joe Biden and the rest of y'all are Donald Trump. So we understand what it is. Now, if you don't, I know you were taught that Abraham Lincoln was the friend to the black folks. Biggest lie ever told. I say it again. Biggest lie ever told. Because when Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation back in 1863, January 1863, the only people who were only Africans that he really freed, because they're not slaves. Slaves is not a determination. Slave is a job, damn near. Force only a prisoner of war that he actually freed were the ones in Washington, D.C. And in that same bill, again, they don't teach you this in school. That same bill, you know what's in that bill? Up to $300 per each slave to each slave owner. Up to $300 to each slave owner. Right? And also in that bill was a provision for some money to send your ass to Haiti or Liberia. So if we know this is a white country, we need y'all to get the hell out. So why everybody love Abraham Lincoln, it's the man. Yeah, he was trying to kick your black ass out. He wanted to be gone with you. So, I'm just saying, man, but the brothers and sisters back then, they had the wherewithal to understand that, hey, we not really our guy, but you close enough, so we'll rock with you for now. By the way, there was a group of women that were around at that point. For all y'all to think the brothers and sisters were shucking and jiving, just going along with the program because that's all they had to do. It was a group of sisters back then. Their name escapes me right now, and I'm pissed off that I didn't write it down. But these women, like I told y'all on Backyard Saturday, the sisters been leading the way quietly. These women had a plot to kill Lincoln their damn selves. Yeah. They were getting together and they wanted to kill him their damn selves. So while you think because people were in indentured servitude, forced indentured servitude, and they were forced legally at the hands of firearms and whips and things like that to not be able to fight back, you think they were weak? You were weak for assuming that, because all you had to do is open up a book and stop being a slave to Google and read about your folks before you disrespect your folks. And for the people that sticking up for them, I don't give a damn what you say. Because if I looked it up and I found it out, why can't you? Again, I said this about 2-3 months ago. Your phone is either a tool or a toy. We walk around with literal computers in our hands and we don't use them. And then you got people standing on TV. Oh man, I bet you if it was a such thing as roll over in your grave, people like the Noble Drew Ali, Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X, Martin King, Huey Newton, Kwame Ture, and other people who laid their lives on the line so you could be able to say those stupid ass things out your mouths. It's a rotisserie throughout the country. Fannie Lou Hammond, Dorothy Childs, man, they are slapping every time y'all say that. They probably slap themselves in the face and having like, damn, why are you that stupid? You know, and people think it's some type of celebratory statement. We're not our ancestors. No shit, Sherlock, because you know what, our ancestors respect their elders, and you clowns clearly don't. We're not our ancestors. You need to be punched in the face every time you say that. And see, I can't say that on Twitter because they'll shut me down. But this ain't Twitter. This built for this network. Guess who own it? Me. Me and my crew own it. Now, I'm going to say what I want to say. But they need to be slapped. They need to stop it. Another thing we have to stop doing is drawing alliances to people who don't have any good intentions for us. You know, I mentioned the aforementioned Joe Biden. Yep, I'm going to vote for him. Yep. But again, like I told y'all, it's a difference in drinking, eating soap and drinking bleach. Yeah, both of them are cleaning agents. Neither one of them are made for ingestion. But the bleach will kill you, and the soap will make you sick. So, eat the soap. Be working on a replacement. This is the plan, y'all. Eat the soap, aka Joe Biden. Meanwhile, we're working on midterm replacements for all these. What's the dude who sound like a turtle? Can't think of his name. Senator of Kentucky. Get him the hell up out of here. And when we get them in the hell up out of here, 2 years after that, we're gonna be looking for Joe Biden's replacement, because we need people to do our bidding. And if Joe Biden is the best possible option, again, the Abraham Lincoln of our time, I say let's go for him, and then we're working on his replacement today. It's a sad commentary, y'all. And again, We're not drawing allegiance to Joe Biden. We're just using him for what we need to do is get rid of this white supremacists in the White House. White nationalists and soldiers always going to try to stop saying white supremacists because that means if there's something supreme, that means there's something inferior. Every up is a down, every left is a right, So if he's a supremacist, that means we're inferior, which I'm not going to say. Shut up, Terry Crews, big dummy. But back to the point I was making about drawing alliances to people that don't have any alliances to us. And those guys, 2 guys are right on top of the rip, with 3 guys. Terry Crews. Terry Crews has gone on a Twitter rant for the last 2 weeks, unprovoked. And he is literally giving the people who are opposed to our community bullets to shoot us, metaphorically. Shout out to Karen Hunter. I stole that from Karen Hunter. But Terry Crews is sitting up sparking arguments that nobody's having. Black supremacy. Who the hell is having that argument? Now, like I said Wednesday, not to regurgitate facts or thoughts, I'm not a Black Lives Matter guy because I read the website and they keep talking about we're bigger than just the Black lives. We're going into the gay and the gigantic gay and lesbian population of the Black community. They shooting gays in the street? Sandra Bland and Eric Wright and all those dudes, they ain't gay. They weren't gay. The young boy in Cleveland, who brought that up? Colin Kaepernick didn't say nothing about gay. He was talking about black people because you know what? They don't just shoot you when you're gay. There have been no laws. There's no such thing as red line because you're gay. Because how would they know? But guess what? When I walk in the room, they go, that's a big black dude. Most people say, that's a mean looking black dude. So that's why I don't really back the Black Lives Matter movement. But when he started talking about black supremacy, what the hell is that, Terry? But again, when old boy grabbed his joint, oh yeah, man. See, sucker MC. He got his way. He probably got that little money. He out here selling his soul to the devil. Don't want to get off TV. So I'm gonna pull out these tap dancing. No disrespect to our elder, and this is a term that used to be used back in the 60s and the 70s. I'm finna Sammy Davis Jr. No disrespect to Sammy. It is what it is. I wasn't there. I can't tell it, so I'm just using the phraseology. But I'm finna get my tap dance on. Yes, boss. We sick, boss. Another 2 guys. The first one is Bob Johnson. Bob Johnson used to be the owner, and he is the creator of BET, Black Entertainment Television. But as our elder, well, he ain't really our elder, but he our elder. He's 10 years older than me, and I'm probably older than most of y'all. Chuck D says the Booty and Titty Network. Because all they was doing when Bob Johnson owned it was showing ass and shaking ass. The tip drill. I watched the videos. I was digging it. I ain't gonna lie. But how was that enhancing? So now Bob Johnson talking about reparations because he's trying to make sure his folks get some more money. You did something great, and then you sold us out. You're a black conservative, and for the most part, black people on paper are conservatives. Really, we are conservatives, but you out here damn near going to Trump rallies at first, and now you want to sign up. What they probably did was show them his nigga card. When you're a billionaire, when they show your nigga card, you don't get it the same way we do. Besides, when you Oprah and you go to that store, they lock your black ass out, call the police on you. But that's neither here nor there. But now all of a sudden he's stepping up. Understand, if Bob Johnson is speaking up about racial issues, there's some kind of benefit for him ultimately. And I ain't trying to hear, and I ain't trying to go for it. Bob Johnson has never been a friend of the people in our community. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. So don't rock with Bob Johnson will be the best thing. He's that cousin who used to get high. He might still be getting high, but you ain't gonna let him in the house. The other cousin who'll try to holler at your girlfriend is Byron Allen, in my opinion. A couple years ago, Byron Allen, oh man, I'm doing this for the culture. Da, da, da. He said something on Charlemagne the God, the Breakfast Club, and it set off an alarm in my head. And because he was talking that black shit, as they used to say back in the 80s, that black shit. But he was talking that shit that I wanted to hear. I excused it. But that red flag with me, I'm a gut dude, man. I got a big one, but I'm a gut feeling dude. I live with my gut feeling. It has never let me down. At every single solitary time I have ignored my gut, I done got a foot squared down the center of my ass. My gut wouldn't let it slide. Every time I saw him, I heard it. And the statement he made was, oh, I'm not just trying to do this for black people. I mean, we ain't just trying to make black movies. We're trying to play in the big leagues. Hold up. But he was still talking about enhancing our community, so I let it slide. Here we are 2 years later. He was suing Comcast. I'm trying to do this because the black people need their own. We need our own. We need our own. They disrespected us. They don't want to deal with me. And what did he do? He settled for 2 stations and an undisclosed amount of money. Byron, what happened to all this distribution stuff he was talking? Sold us out for a whole lot of money. He sold us out for generational wealth, so his kids will always have money, and his grandkids and his grandkids. Because remember, he said he not playing in the minor leagues. He playing in the major leagues. And the major leagues mean I want to take care of white folk. Told you, man, all skin folk ain't kinfolk, man. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. I should have knew what time it was, but I did not ignore it because he was rubbing my joint, and I liked it. Metaphor. So this is why we have to be careful when we draw these lines of allegiance. Make sure people are vested. You know, we jumped on that Kanye West bandwagon. Oh, George Bush don't like black people. Yeah, man, he driving over saying, hey, when we struggling. Kanye the man. Kanye ended up being a sucker MC too. So, and the strange thing, that cancel culture didn't hit Kanye. That cancel culture ain't hit Byron Allen. That cancel culture ain't hit Bob Johnson. But let somebody else say something, that cancel crew be rolling in, ready to choke them out. So instead of just rolling with the cancel culture and getting rid of good folks who missed up, my goal is to get rid of these creeps that's talking loud and ain't saying nothing. With that being said, I'm going for a break right now. I got this thing coming up in 10 seconds. I'm going to try to pay attention to it. We're going to talk about the 4th of July when I get back. I'll let you boy.
Fellow citizens, pardon me and allow me to ask, why am I called upon to speak here today? What have I, or those I represent, to do with your national independence? Are the great principles of political freedom and of natural justice embodied in that Declaration of Independence extended to us? And am I, therefore, called upon to bring our humble offering to the national altar and to confess the benefits and express devout gratitude for the blessings resulting from your independence to us? I am not included within the pale of this glorious anniversary. Your high independence only reveals the immeasurable distance between us. The blessings in which you this day rejoice are not enjoyed in common. The rich inheritance of justice, liberty, prosperity, and independence bequeathed by your fathers is shared by you, not by me. The sunlight that brought life and healing to you has brought stripes and death to me. This 4th of July is yours, not mine. You may rejoice, I must mourn. What to the American slave is your 4th of July? I answer, a day that reveals to him more than all other days of the year the gross injustice and cruelty to which he is a constant victim. To him, your celebration is a sham. Your boasted liberty, an unholy license. Your national greatness, swelling vanity. Your sounds of rejoicing are empty and heartless. Your denunciation of tyrants, brass-fronted impudence. Your shouts of liberty and equality, hollow mockery. Your prayers and hymns, your sermons and thanksgivings, with all your religious parade and solemnity, are to him mere bombast, fraud, deception, impiety, and hypocrisy, a thin veil to cover up crimes that would disgrace a nation of savages. There's not a nation of the earth guilty of practices more shocking and bloody than are the people of these United States at this very hour. At a time like this, scorching irony, not convincing argument, is needed. Oh, had I the ability and could reach the nation's ear, I would today pour forth a stream, a fiery stream of biting ridicule, blasting reproach, withering sarcasm, and stern rebuke. For it is not light that is needed, but fire. It is not the gentle shower, but thunder. We need the storm, the whirlwind, the earthquake. The feeling of the nation must be quickened. The conscience of the nation must be roused. The propriety of the nation must be startled. The hypocrisy of the nation must be exposed, and the crimes against God and man must be proclaimed and denounced.
Welcome back to the show. It's your man HRap coming at you live and direct. This is Built for This Network. This is a podcast called Build and Destroy. I keep emphasizing podcasts because a lot of people don't understand that when I send you that link or you get the link via mail, all you have to do is click it anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Go to Spotify, go to iHeartRadio, go to wherever you get podcasts from, or any place that you know of, or come back here to Spreaker.com and listen to it 1,000 times. You can listen to it as soon as the show over. You can listen to it. You come in right now, you're late. Come back in 2 hours, come back in an hour or 45 minutes or whenever I end this, and you can listen to it again. It is no such thing as missing the show. You can listen to it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't forget. With that being said, thank you for tuning in. This is Saturday. This is Build and Destroy. And I want to get this thing cracking so you can get back to your barbecue and your family and your friends or what have you. The voice that you heard was James Earl Jones. Salute to the ancestor. Well, excuse me. Salute to the great James Earl Jones. Salute to the great James Earl Jones, but he was reading from the 4th of July speech from Fredrick Douglass. As you heard, man, Frederick Douglass and our ancestors, again, this is why it upset me so much when I hear these jackasses on TV talking about we're not our ancestors. So if you're one of those people, I think you're a dumbass. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not going, oh man, see, you need to look at it like this. No, you're a dumbass. And if you defending it, I think you're a dumbass too. But as you see, these people were not just laying down, man. These are human beings. These people are human beings, and they understood the situation that they were in. And obviously, the people are saying we're not our ancestors. They don't. But even with that being said, you saw the vitriol, you saw the vigor, and you saw the acknowledgement of what was going on to his people and his speech. This is a speech that a lot of people read on an annual basis, and it shows you that people were sick and tired, and they were pissed off about the situation they were in, and they understood that they couldn't do anything about it at that moment. But the reason I played that is because it is the 4th of July, and I saw on social media, what do we do? What do we do? You know, look, man, did nobody say you shouldn't be glad that you got off yesterday or Monday? Barbecue like you normally do. And if you want to be a patriot, knock yourself out, man. Again, man, there's no penalty for being who the hell you are. But also, if you celebrating the freedom of this country and all that, then I am going to look at you like, guess you ain't cracked open a book ever. Because you would have to be celebrating the independence of the United States of America and be African, you have to be outside your mind. Now, you can celebrate the day off all you want. And you can get together with your family and celebrate that. But for you to be walking around with a red, white, and blue t-shirt talking about God bless him, I really question you. And if you have judgment for me, all you have to do is go to the library, pick up a book called The Counter-Revolution of 1776 by one Gerald Horne. Okay? Gerald Horne is the guy I want you to look up. Gerald Horne, adequate, his statement is simply this. You were taught that this war, the Revolutionary War, was started because white people got tired of getting taxed, yada, 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 and they stood up against the great power of Britain and blah, 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 yakety smackety, right? That's what you were taught. That's what I was taught. But when you read Gerald Horne's book, you realize that this was a case. This was bigger than that. Because this goes back to the United Kingdom. And it's a Somerset case. Mr. Somerset was an African who was under the tyranny of slavery in England. And he told them, y'all don't have any laws on the books saying I'm supposed to be a slave. So how am I a slave? Let us go. And because he was in court stating this, they had to honor it. Because you can't retroactively write a law to make somebody a slave if you're a human. So actually, people in England must have had some form of humanity. That says people, saying how people who are over here so engaged with this damn Confederate flag, maybe we need to start, maybe the black community needs to start to fly the Union Jack. Because that's part of our heritage, remember? But that's neither here nor there. But with that being said, they set them free. And you know what they did? Damn, we were proven wrong. And the Americans over there, the people over there on the New World, they starting to cut up. Gerald Horne, H-O-R-E-N-E, sorry. Horn, like trumpet. Thank you, Rhonda. It's my sister, Rhonda. The English said, what we gonna do, since the Americans starting to cut up a little bit, they weren't even American, the colonists were cutting up a little bit, they started to lose their grip. They start coming over here and talking to the natives and the brothers. Hey man, y'all sick of these crackers? Roll with us. Start talking this down, and when we kick their ass, we gonna rock with y'all. And the natives, by them being sovereign, they sick of them. They get like, yeah, man, we need to kick all y'all out, but y'all might be a little better than them. And of course, the brothers and the sisters is like, we gonna be free, cause that's the lie George Washington punk ass told. Lie, George Washington. Lie, George Washington. I'm gonna say it again. Lie, George Washington. That's a lie he told too. I mean, we'll let y'all go if y'all blah blah blah. So the Declaration of Independence in Philadelphia that year, they even mention in the Declaration of Independence, you can research it, look it up. It states that King George is agitating the slaves and the natives. That's another reason we got to break loose from him, because he kicking it off. We sick of him, and he starting to kick it up with these dudes over here. He gonna empower them. And we gonna be just regular citizens over here instead of this being a white country. Then next thing you know, Declaration of Independence is signed. The war starts. They tell us a lie. Help us fight the English. We're free, y'all. The rest is history. See, this also goes into last night. Again, this also goes into last night's events. If you're not aware, President Donald J. Trump, and again, I keep saying his whole name, and I want to say President Trump, because when you're agitated by the fact that he's the president, hopefully you'll do something about it. Hopefully you register to vote. Hopefully you'll do something to get his ass out of here. Instead of just watching, you're going to participate in the process. So, Donald Trump stood in front of, I almost said Mount Everest, Mount Rushmore last night. And when his Trump rallies. Shout out to Cameron, honey. And when his Klan rallies. And, you know, blah, blah, blah. And the reason I bring that up is this. Everybody talking about monuments. Taking down monuments. And this, that, and the third. And we got to do this. It was symbolic what he did last night. And what he did was this. He stood in front of that monument of slave owners and white supremacists and said, you know, whatever he said, because I'm not listening to none of that shit he's saying, because he not angling towards me. Shout out to Herman Cain. We're going to the Trump rally and getting the boo-boo flu. Sucks to be you, homie. But it was symbolic, y'all. See, while everybody's talking about flags and everybody glad, oh man, they took the Mississippi flag down. We making progress. No, we not. Want y'all, hey, just all you gotta do is look at the Alabama flag and look at the state of Tennessee flag. Challenge anybody to do it right now. Tell me that's not a variation of the Confederate flag. What they did by taking that Mississippi flag down and leaving the Alabama and the Tennessee flag up is a paramount of slapping you in your face. See, if these things were actually meant to change things, they would. These are called concessions, diversions. But again, back to this dude at Mount Rushmore. He had Mount Rushmore last night. He got all these white folks out there rallying. It's the man, you are president. You're the man. You're the best racist we know. You want to make it. But what you don't understand is the same dude, for people who are from the South who are listening, think about Stone Mountain. They got those Confederate soldiers on that mountain down there. The dude who designed Mount Rushmore. And the Northerners asked him to do it, and the Confederate got mad and fired him. Because they were going to do Jefferson Davis and all those and his crew and put them on Stone Mountain. But you notice that Stone Mountain thing ain't down. Ain't nobody talking about removing that. And when they found out he was working with the North, they deleted some of his work. See, these are not acts that are more than 100 years old. So when you tell me, oh man, it was different, that Stone Mountain thing was done in the 60s. And it was financed by these people called the Daughters of the Confederacy. And these are the people who created your monuments. The Jefferson Davis monuments, the General Lee monuments, and all these people who hated us. All those monuments throughout the South and those flags. These are the people who did this in the 60s. So while you're thinking, oh man, these monuments been up all. These monuments are not even older than your big brother and big sisters. You know, so, but back to last night. He in front of this monument and doing what's his name, Andrew Jackson, pushing the people that they call Indians toward the western part of the country because they just ganked that from Napoleon, Louisiana Purchase and all that, pushing them out there. Then they found out it was gold in the foothill in the Black Hill Mountains, and the people that they call the Sioux Indians. Guess what? Sioux is a slur. So everybody, well, man, the roach and the Redskin, blah, 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 blah. Y'all call a whole nation of people to sue, and that's a slur. They are the Lagala Lakuta people. Those very same people this is how you know the news agencies and cameramen are complicit in this whole get down. After the Mount Rushmore was constructed, after they found out it was oil and gold, and they reneged on the treaties with the people, the people who are known as the Sioux Indians, those brothers and sisters had a monument constructed that's pointing right at Mount Rushmore. It's a gigantic statue of a native pointing at Mount Rushmore, like, get y'all ass out of here. But when you stand in front of a monument of white nationalists, and you are known white nationalists, and you got a whole crowd of white folks, what is that saying? But I forgot, all white people not racist, right? Shut the hell up. Enough of them are. Enough of them are. I quote the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Silence is complicit. I'm a paraphrase. You ain't speaking up, you up with it. So these are things that are going on throughout this nation, and people are just going along to get along because they understand. People, oh, I didn't know it was racism. Yeah, you didn't know it was black people here either then. So with that being said, I move into all this money that's being pledged and potentially given to our folks. This is where we really need to step up. Because when you look at this stuff, you realize that this money is being disseminated towards our community for social injustice and racial equality. I have a way for us to work, get some of that money, and get some money in your pocket too. It's this thing called the Innocence Project. The Innocence Project needs funding tremendously. When you got district attorneys like Hammerhand here in Chicago and others, we found out about 5 years ago, it was a cop who was beating brothers into submission and into confessions. Oh man, I would never do that. Yeah, try it. You'll do anything to stop motherfuckers whooping on your head after a while. Torture works, that's why they do it. But one of the cases, I'm bringing up 2 cases to let you know why we need to get that money pushed into criminal justice reform. Simply for 2 reasons, and 2 reasons only. The district attorneys and people in criminal justice world hate to rescind convictions. They got some like the blue wall of silence, the blue flu and all that. They don't want to overturn those convictions because they may have to try everything. And that means those prisons, those plantations. And I said that wrong on purpose. Those plantations they got for low wage labor, some of those will get shut down. Some of that money will stop flowing through. But all I gotta do is say, a young girl in 1931, age 14, was put to death for stealing 14 cents. She was convicted Monday, executed Wednesday. It's a brother who has been incarcerated in the state of South Carolina. His name is Ronnie Long, for 44 years. There's some people that's close to me, only 45 years old. 44 years Ronnie Long has been in jail for a rape that he did not commit. Our brother Ronnie Long, it is documented that a phone call to his girlfriend and his mother were made while this young lady was being raped. Fact number 1. Fact number 2, they found footprints, fingerprints, and DNA. None of them matched to brother Long. Fact number 3, the woman who was experienced this rape, she said the man had a black leather jacket on. and I dug my nails so far into the jacket that it bent my nails backwards, and I scratched up the jacket. They found Brother Ronnie with a black leather jacket with no stripes on it. That's what the present district attorney said. He was found with a leather jacket. The governor, Governor Roy Cooper has the ability to let Ronnie go now. After serving 44 years in jail for rape, we got people serving less time for murder. And he out here tweeting Black Lives Matter. Roy Cooper. See, this is where that Black Lives Matter thing don't mean a goddamn thing to me, man. See, we need to be pushing towards Initiative 940 and get some of these brothers the fuck up out of jail, man. And see, this is what says Michael Jordan pledged $100 million, Nike pledged $40 million. All these people pledging all this money to criminal justice reform and social injustice. This is where a lot of that money need to go to. You got many brothers in jail right now for nothing? For nothing. For being a brother. So while everybody talking about reform, you notice that ain't on TV. That's not on TV. Another young brother before that. That's the youngest person in the world, age 10. A young brother before that, age 14, is put in an electric chair. And when you are executing people, you incarcerating people, they can't get their lives back. Most important. But the brothers who have been in jail for 45, 50 years, 25, 30 years, 10, 5, 1 day, they can't get that time back. So this is what we need to start. Since y'all pledging this money, we need most of that money to go to the Innocence Project. And this is why I always tell y'all, we got to do what we got to do to maintain the lives that we have and the sanity that we have. Because that's crazy. A 14-year-old girl put to death. I mean, a 10-year-old girl. I'm sorry. 10-year-old girl put to death for 14 cents. Listen to that. A 10-year-old never got the chance to be in high school. She never got a chance to do anything for 14 cents during the Great Depression. So while everybody talking about taking down monuments, taking down flags, why don't we start working on all this money that these people done pledged to us, going to things like the Innocence Projects, damn the Urban League, damn the NAACP. There's several organizations that are fighting for innocent people. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, most of us have Netflix, most of us have a Fire Stick, if not, or Amazon Prime or some type of streaming service. Look up the 13. Watch it. The genius part about the 13 is this. They used a white guy who was incarcerated for nothing at all. Why I call that genius? Because, contrary to popular belief, white people don't believe it unless it's happening in there. And do I want the white guy to be locked up? But no, but it made it real to white people. I don't care about your family members that's white that are cool. Obviously, I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about your friends that are cool. Obviously, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the vast majority of white people in the United States of America who act as if things that are happening to the people in our community are not happening, that we are doing something to inflict this type of pain and tyranny upon us. Like, hey, Richard Pryor spoke about it. Eddie Murphy spoke about it. Richard Pryor spoke about it in the 70s. Eddie Murphy spoke about it in the 80s. I'm sure somebody spoke about it in the 90s, and Dave Chappelle talking about it in the 90s and the 2000s. Well, Chris Rock did the 90s, Dave Chappelle 90th century and decade. So it's an ongoing situation. It's easy to laugh at, but Big Illinois said this, I think 2 days ago. We were talking on the phone. People ain't gonna wake up until it happens to their family. And if you feel that way, or if you got an excuse for these incidents, I want you to take yourself emotionally back to the last funeral you went to a person you were close to. And then think about somebody else you're close to, and think about Greg Lloyd, and think about Philando Castile, and think about the other people. Think about your homeboy like my man Dana Ballard, who went to jail for 15, 20 years for a murder he did not commit. To the point where my friend Dana Ballard literally said this to me one day. He was like, B, man, about 5 years into that shit, I started questioning my damn self. Listen to that, man. Do you understand the psychological job that go on? That my main man, Dana Ballard, one of the best people I ever met in my life, went to the penitentiary for a murder he did not commit, went in 89 and got out in the mid 2000s. So while we are shucking and jiving and BSing, we have to be aware of what's going on everywhere and at all times. For example, 18,000 tons. No, excuse me. 18 tons of human hair was confiscated by customs this week. Rap, what the hell is that? What? It got a lot to do with us. Everybody wears, all cultures wear extensions and weave. Sisters who wear extensions and weave, I need y'all to start either using synthetic hair or go to the natural look. I'm asking you this because of this. 18 tons of human hair was seized, and these by women who are in Asia and concentration camps forced to grow their hair and shave bald. That's a violation of their human rights. Concentration camp, you familiar with that term from the Second World War. That means people are treated like animals, like sheep. And we're supporting that industry. And being a people whose ancestors were forced into bondage and forced into inhumane situations, we can no longer support an industry that is taking those type of extremes to harm humans. So we can't do that anymore, sisters. Y'all dope anyway, man. I mean, I drive around all day, man. Maybe I shouldn't be checking out to sisters like that, but man, it'd be out here killing the game, man. Murder, man. It's beautiful at all points, all shapes, sizes, and colors, man. So you really don't need those extensions and stuff like that to make you be dope as you are. But we definitely don't have the room to support an industry that's putting people in concentration camps and things of that nature, because that's just another version of slavery, another version of tyranny. And we can't support that. We can't support nothing that's putting other people in bondage. You know, freedom is a consistent battle. And that's, you know, to quote the great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., tyranny anywhere is tyranny everywhere. And what we're going to have to do as a community is stop saying what somebody needs to do. I ask my brothers and my sisters and our allies to look at our past and ask how did they do that, and then research it and then redo it. There is no reason for people that look like me and you to struggle the way we do. There is no reason for us not to have our own businesses. There is no reason for us to have the best schools possible. There's no reason that we can't create unity in our community. That's something else. Please stop parroting these things about we the only people that don't have unity, because that's a lie in itself. Unity does not mean you like everybody in your community. It really doesn't. Unity means you respect everybody in your community. And it starts with respecting the person that you see when you brush your teeth and comb your hair in the morning. See, when you like you, it really don't make a difference if I like you or not. And when you respect you, you won't disrespect anybody else, because you will feel like, yeah, you ain't gonna do that. I don't do that because I hear people say that all the time. I don't mess around like that because I don't want nobody doing that to me. Like me and my man Big Illinois and my man Big P, we crack mama jokes. We've been cracking mama jokes for more than 30 years. People, I don't play like that because I don't want you talking about my mama. Same thing works with the respect. Same thing works with respect. If you like you won't disrespect somebody else. Stop listening to, look, I'm going to speak for, I'm going to say 80% of the black people in the world. I know that's tough. That's tough to do. But I'm going to go out on a limb on this one. 80% of the black people in the world don't like other black people. I don't mean don't. They like other black people. I would say 80% of the black people in the world get their ass up and bust their ass every day. They do. So what makes you believe? And then 80% of the black people that I know will openly say the media just making us look bad. They on some bullshit. They always showing the worst of us. The question I have for that 80% that I'm giving credit to is this. If you will openly say the media makes us look bad, now, and everybody who listening to me has a story about some snaggletooth dude or woman or uncouth person on the television news, and we all go collectively. When we see that person, we go, oh, how do they find that guy? If you have uttered that statement, why would you believe there's no unity in our community? Because that means you assume that we're better than that. And the reason you assume that we're better than that is because you've seen better than that. And if you've seen better than that, why would you assume that there's no unity in our community? Because that old raggedy dude or woman, that raggedy person that embarrassed you on the news, if you didn't think it was unity and better than that in our community, you'd be like, yeah, that's just the way it is. So stop allowing others to create the narrative for our community. Black on black crime. Is it crime in our community? Yes. But you will believe we're the only people getting shot on the news. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never seen. Only time I see white people shooting other people on TV is when it's a mass shooting. So am I to believe the only time white people enact acts of violence against each other is when it's a mass shooting? I'm just saying. Oh, the theater shooting was a white guy. It's this dude trying to blow up something. It's a white guy. But just random acts of violence, you never see that. We make up 13 to 15% of the population. And I guarantee if you turned on the news right now, you'll see somebody black committing a crime. Who the hell is killing these white people then? Because America has thousands of murders every year. Who the hell is killing the white people? Who killing the Asians? Who killing the Latinos? Because we killing us, right? So who's killing them? Again, this is propaganda. Do we need to do better? Hell yeah. But the question I want to know is, why is it only us on TV? Oh man, we got to stop this. But why do you only see me and you? It's the question I have. It bothers me. Bothers the hell out of me, y'all. And I don't want us to buy into this nonsense anymore. Before I shut down the show, again, man, I got my pledge to all the brothers. Be the best man you can be. Do the best to protect yourself and your community at all times. Engage with the youth, even if it's a simple hello. See the community as an opportunity to improve, promote, and support people in our community on a regular basis. That's the pledge I'm going to do to all the brothers nationwide that I can get together on September 5th, 2020. I want everybody. I want guys to start reaching out to me at HRap_B on Instagram and Twitter. Reach out to me on Facebook at Brian D. Williams. Inbox me. Because I want to organize this in the East Coast, in the South, in the Midwest, in our West, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 2 o'clock Midwestern Time, noon Western Pacific Time. And I want us to get together, get as many people as you can get in as many neighborhoods as you can get. And I want a picture from each one of you guys. I'm going to post it on my website, theendofthebench.com. THAENDOFDABENCH. You can go to subscribe to my website now. And I just want to create some form of solidarity in our community. I got some people working with me now, slowly getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Hopefully, people commit and they never show up. I know me and my crew going to do it. And I'm going to continue to work towards this, man. But I just need everybody to get together on the same page and we can get this done. It's always good doing this show because I know I'm reaching somebody. Am I reaching the masses? Probably not. But I mean, man, look, if 3 guys, if me, Big Illinois, Dre, and Joe from Houston only do this, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with it all, man. But my goal is this, and only this. If one less person gets hurt in our community, one less crime is done in our community, I'm good with that. I know D-grade down, so I got the West, I got the Midwest, I got a portion of the South with Joe from Houston. So if it's only us 5, so what? I'm gonna do it, with or without you. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want you to tune in tomorrow to my man Rated for Life. The show is dope. Later on that evening, my man D Gray from XY Radio, dope. You see him in the chat room. Dope show. Monday morning, #1 Chief Rocker Jersey Vine. Monday evening, my man D Gray killing the game as usual. So Monday Night Love Jones. He play music for the soul, man. Y'all ain't doing nothing else but sitting in the damn house. The whole country got the boo-boo flu, so sit your ass in the house listening to D Gray, man. I need 10,000 people in his joint Monday, man. I need so many people in D Gray joint that he just gonna have to put in a text in the chat to say hello everybody. Then Tuesday, DJ Mad Knox killing the game on the Tackle Hip Hop. Tuesday evening, it'll be me. The End of the Bench podcast, sports and culture. Tuesday evening, Mandela Young and Girly Girl on New Max Radio. Then Deacon Dale killing the game. Wednesday afternoon, D Great, Westside Wednesday. Deacon Dale, Wednesday evening. And then Big Illinois with the Backyard Crew. Then DJ Knox and Cheers should be back. Rest in peace to Cheers' mom. Prayers going out to brother Cheers. Mooka Dean in the evening. Mandela Young behind closed doors in the evening on New Max Radio. DJ Meg Knox burning it down. Big Illinois is coming up with a show, y'all. He got another show. I think he's doing it on his own. I don't really know. He just told me he wanted to do it, so you already know. You know how that goes. So we gonna get that cracking. And then Lisa Deuce, DJ Purpleicious, Deacon Dale with the Blues Club again on Saturdays, and then me. All 168 hours have been covered. As y'all know, go. Rest in peace to Reggie O'Shea, a.k.a. the Power Father, the dude who kind of inspired me to do this. He pushed me along. I had already had the idea, but he gave me the courage. Rest in peace, Reggie, a.k.a. Combat Jack. And y'all know how I end every show. Dream those dreams. And man up and woman up and live those dreams. Because life without dreams flows in black and white. And life with dreams flows in technicolor. Surround sound is built for this network. This HRap, 2 fingers, 1 word. I'm out.